We did it, Caroline.
We did.
Say it with me. Go
Go
Gators!
Gators!
Yes! Whoa, baby! Folks, on Monday, April 7th, history was made. The Florida Gators took home their third national championship, and I'm still floating. I'm still floating.
Yeah. You were there for the game, not at the game, but in Gainesville.
That's right. I had the pleasure of sitting in the Stephen C. O'Connell Center, Exactech Arena, to be hyper specific, and watching among, I guess, mostly students. I don't know how I got in. What was crazy was like some friends of ours, Jessica and Michael Martyr and Andy Finkel, had gotten in line at 12:30 on the day of the game and saved a spot for us in line because it was all free, first come, first serve, like get in the door and find your seat kind of a thing. It was madness. And so they got there at 12:30 that day. I finally was able to get to Gainesville around like 5:30, and we got in at 7, got our seats, and did not move until the game was over. And what a stressful game to watch with 11,000 other Gator fans. But ultimately, of course, it ended well. It ended weird.
Yes.
But it ended well. And this was the scene after the game. Just absolute pandemonium. Everybody stormed the court. I stayed out there and partied a little bit till they kicked us out. And just wow. Wow. Go Gators. Here's the other thing, I don't know if you looked close at the bracket, but we narrowly avoided a matchup. You and I.
Yes.
That would have made for some contentious podcasting if Oklahoma had beaten, I want to say, UConn.
Well,
or was it?
Yeah, that's a pretty big if.
That's a big if, but the UConn of this year clearly wasn't the UConn of years past.
No.
So it could have happened.
It hurts me that I was rooting for Florida, just as a person who remembers the 2008 college football championship.
Yes,
that hurts me. It hurt me, but in my office random drawing for our March Madness teams, I did get Florida.
Oh, good.
So
ultimately,
I did root for you so that I could win. I think I won $30 for having the winning team. So
that's more than I won. I just did the ESPN bracket and got nothing. Got like 2 millionth place.
Yeah, it makes you a true fan. I was just
Thank you.
A paid fan.
You ended up right place, right time.
Yeah, I think so. And I didn't draw Oklahoma, and I didn't try to trade for them. Does that make me a bad OU fan? I'm going to say, with the context of OU men's basketball, no. I think it's okay. I think no one can really fault me for not thinking we'd win it all.
Yeah, you were informed enough to know that perhaps, But anyway, so obviously I know I'm supposed to be wearing my show shirt. I simply couldn't. Like, there's too much to celebrate on today, tax day. All right. So, but because we've been talking nothing but basketball and football, you may be wondering, what the hell am I watching here? It's, of course, the Corkboard Chronicle. I'm Kirby. That's Caroline. How you doing, Caroline?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. What a week. I watched the national championship on Monday. I officiated a wedding on Thursday, flew back Sunday, and now we were given the gift on Saturday night of another episode of not just SNL, but the podcast. And what's so beautiful about the way they're announcing these May shows is that we get to meet like this a couple more times. Like, we thought we only had one more episode in us, but it looks like they're gonna draw it out. So we are raking in the views, baby. It's gonna be great.
If you had told me this is what they were going to do back when the season started with a 5-show announcement, I wouldn't have believed you.
Yeah, right. Honestly, you also may have renegotiated your contract. Like, okay, wait, maybe I need more per episode.
Yeah.
If there's gonna be a lot in May, a lot towards
This
the
is what we're
end.
doing. 4 announcements for the season.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, how about that? That was very funny. Let's all take a moment to reminisce about September when we thought this is going to be such a genius. It's probably going to be an episode a month, and then they announced 3 months worth of episodes in one
Yeah.
sitting, and we just took a break. Hilarious, good prank. Um, but yeah, we've got another announcement, which means there's another Corkboard Chronicle. Uh, I think, despite the controversy in the Mikey Madison episode, I feel like this was a strong slate of
I think
episodes.
so.
These past 3.
Yeah.
Like I had a good time with like highlights in Mikey Madison were probably for me the midwife sketch.
Yes.
Perfect. And then that's the only one that's immediately coming to mind right at this second. I know there was a Please Don't
Yeah.
Destroy that night.
It was the
The
SpongeBob
SpongeBob one.
one, which
Mhm.
I was thinking was going to be like one of my all-time PDD videos, the
Mhm.
Bad Bunny Shrek short.
Right.
Wasn't quite that, but it was
Hmm.
still good.
Yeah. Still, valiant effort.
Solid.
And then Jack Black, obviously, that like we called that was going to
Yeah.
be a legendary show
Yes.
from the jump. I have a bone to pick,
Okay.
though, and I sent you this. This is just me, right? And full disclosure, I am taking off these glasses and putting on some glasses of another color because we did have a dog in this fight. We tried to get in to the Jack Black, Elton John, Brandy Carlisle show.
You
It
tried
didn't
really
work
hard.
out. But imagine my frustration when I turn on the Jack Black monologue. He walks through the audience,
Yeah.
right? And as he's coming back, which was amazing, first of
Yeah.
all,
I mean,
like
yeah.
it's rare. It is a rare thing that anybody, people who like regular writers or hosts or cast or whatever, use the entire room like he
Hmm.
did. The marching band that came in. I mean, that was a show.
Yes.
And then as he's circling the audience, coming back down the stairs, you catch a glimpse of an audience member. This is him right here. Show yourself. I can't even describe the face he's making. It's pure disdain,
Yeah.
bordering on annoyance that
Yeah.
Jack Black is running by him and he's on TV during it.
Yeah, like it's such a burden.
He shakes his head. I'm sorry. I know that like most of these SNL tickets go to people who are in the family, have a friend who's close to the show or whatever. But if you're not gonna be into it, not to yuck anybody's yum, but just don't go to the show. There
Yeah.
are so many people who would have been photographed in the audience during that moment, elated, and
Yeah.
instead the seat went to you.
Yeah. Are you proud of yourself? Do you think that you're cool?
What's the point? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, maybe my camera's not in focus. Maybe he was trying to get out of something with work and like got caught. I don't know, but like it really doesn't matter. Just enjoy Jack Black. That's
Yeah.
my only pet peeve. I'm not here to tell anybody how to live, but at the same time, come on, those tickets are hard enough to get. You might as well enjoy the damn show. That's just
Exactly.
me. Another mildly interesting note that this only fascinated me because it's rare that I see like a broadcast error like this, and I'm wondering if it happened in anybody else's market. So I watch YouTube TV. I'm trying to phrase this carefully so that captions don't pick it up and I get in trouble. My parents have signed in to my YouTube TV up here before,
Hmm.
and I use it when I can. Now, what that means is that when I watch YouTube TV live, I have New York broadcasts. When I watch it DVR'd, I have West Palm broadcasts. So WPTV News Channel 5, as it was said to me many times over the course of my life, broadcasted that Saturday's SNL, and accidentally rolled a local commercial right in the middle of Weekend Update.
Oh.
It was immediately after I can't remember what joke it was after. It was, at first I was like, did they try to cover it? It seemed pretty benign, but basically this is an estimate of what I saw.
Penguins shouldn't keep pushing their gay agenda.
It's Capital Carpet Tile Window Fashion's biggest sale ever sale.
So just a really weird, place to cut.
That did not happen to me.
Okay, so it was just an isolated thing.
I was watching it on Peacock, so,
But Peacock would still be pulling from some sort of local broadcast, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that works, because I do get local commercials. I get the same 4 local commercials.
I mean, that's usually how it goes.
But,
So you do get your local commercials when you're watching on Peacock, then?
I do.
Yeah, so it was definitely an isolated incident with that particular affiliate, but my wonder was, most of this stuff is automated these days, so maybe NBC misfired something and had all the local stations thinking they were going to commercial now, but clearly I don't think that's the problem. I think it's just WPTV goofed. Somebody sat an elbow down wrong and rolled the local furniture commercial.
You didn't miss Eggo's moment, did you?
No, thank God, but I watched it over and over and over again.
Was yours bleeped?
No.
Mine wasn't either. Okay. All of the recordings I've seen after the fact.
Yes.
Are.
The YouTube upload, probably the Peacock upload, those have all been bleeped, but no, live it was not. And it's interesting to wonder, they've been doing live coast to coast now for 8 years, I believe, almost to the day. It was the Jimmy Fallon Harry Styles episode was the first episode where they aired in the same at the same time on all the coasts. The only difference is that from over, it airs with that title card that says this programming originally aired at a later hour, viewer discretion advised.
Yes.
Because it's 11:30 on the East Coast, but it's 8:30 on the West, which is prime time. There are some things legally that you can get away with after the local news versus before.
Right.
So it's interesting to think if they had still been delaying the broadcast for Mountain and Pacific, would they have tried to take that out? And I think the fact that we see it's not there on the uploads means they probably would have.
My big question that I would love to ask anyone at the show is, what happened during dress?
That's also my question.
Was that a truly unexpected moment, or did they do it during dress and they knew that they, how planned was it?
My friend RJ pointed this out. I was going to say friend of the show, but I don't think he's ever done any of our podcasts. It's okay. Friend of the show, RJ. He had pointed out, because he watched the segment before I did. I didn't end up seeing it in full until yesterday.
Oh, okay.
I just had a busy week. And so what he said was they had established this bit of the bit being she has catchphrases that nobody knows.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Because Miss Eggy don't what? But I think where they may have overlooked is that those catchphrases are too easy to guess.
Yes. Yeah.
So what probably happened was they may have had what they were going for was an awkward moment where she's holding up the mic to the audience, nobody knows what to say, and then everybody starts laughing, and then she goes, play.
Right.
It probably went exactly like that at dress rehearsal, because everybody was not really maybe not as loose as the Air audience was. Every audience is different. So that moment probably played as intended in dress rehearsal. This is my theory.
Yeah.
And then when it came time for Air, somebody bold on the floor actually says, Miss Eggy don't play. And then she goes, how'd you guess that? Yeah, play. So now the audience has already gotten one right.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time we get through the rest of the segment and these men ain't what, they're going to guess again.
And that's an easy guess.
And that one's much easier.
Yeah.
So I think it was just like that perfect storm of like the right audience meets the right moment meets a fill in the blank that's way too easy. And honestly, Hall of Fame moment.
Incredible.
I couldn't believe my eyes.
All three of their reactions.
Yes.
So good.
And I don't know why I love that staging on on Weekend Update when people go in front of the desk.
Yeah.
There's something so classic and iconic about that like anything that happens up there is immediately like sealed into the memory. I mean, we're talking about Cecily Strong as Janine Pirro dunking into the wine.
An all-timer.
Anything Chris Kattan ever did. Like, it's fantastic. And so this is another collection of in front of the desk moments that's going to live on forever. Stefan and Seth Meyers walking away in the season finale. Iconic.
Every time Fred got right up in the camera as David Patterson.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just fantastic. Just fantastic.
It was perfect.
And I don't think SNL should be ashamed of it. I don't think they should have muted it because it's funny.
Yeah.
On Peacock, maybe I get it. But
on
YouTube,
just let it be.
Just let it fly. Come on.
I guess they do typically bleep that stuff though when they put it up. Like I think if you were to go back and watch Kristen Stewart's monologue slip up, maybe Jenny Slate's slip up, I think that stuff is bleeped now.
Yeah. Then again, I believe you're right. Because I think these, like, if it ends up on YouTube, it's probably being taken from the edited for syndication or edited for rerun version.
Yeah.
And that is where that moment couldn't play in its entirety. So I get that. I do get that side of things, but we all know what really happened on
just to
April
find
5th.
It's on Twitter around the uncensored version. Dig for it a little.
Or hit me up. I'll send you my YouTube TV login. I'm kidding. YouTube. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, obviously those are like minute things. The rest of the episode was fantastic, and I actually haven't seen the John Hamm episode yet. I've only seen the cold open. I've heard good things.
I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, I did. Like the cold open was really good, and there's something about something they have found with James Austin Johnson's Donald Trump that is hilarious, and speaks to what I think a lot of people would just rather Donald Trump have done in life. Like that kind of standing up there bullshitting about just what's going on around him is very funny. And it's kind of like oh man, he'd probably be much better in that environment.
He had just stayed on The Apprentice and
or had a chatty talk show or something. But the part where I guffawed laughing was he goes around, look at Emil Joachim featuring Emil Joachim. That killed me. The
Sarah Sherman.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, she froze with her mouth open. That's not a good move. Not a good choice. And then the shout out for Ego Wodom's Miss Eggy.
Yes.
Oh, she had a big hit last week, Miss Eggy.
I was gonna say the last two episodes have been very self-referential.
Yeah.
This one, a couple people brought up because the Miss Eggy thing gets referenced, I think, one more time.
Oh, really?
And then
Okay.
in the Jack Black episode, there were 3 Morgan Wallen jokes.
So I know there was one in the cold open. There was one in Weekend Update. There's a great one in
Well,
Weekend
I guess,
Update.
yeah, the third one, maybe it was that they put in the sketch where all the bass guitars,
Yes.
James Austin Johnson is in a Get Me to God's Country t-shirt.
Oh, that's funny. Okay,
So,
gotcha.
yeah.
Gotcha. Some of his merch, perhaps.
Right. Yeah, I don't know if it was actually the merch or if they made it themselves, but
Who knows? Who knows? Um, yeah, but yeah, just we've been having a lot of fun in season
mhm.
50,
Yes.
and I can't believe the party's almost over.
I know.
3 episodes to go, and we'll be done.
And they haven't said if they're going to renew it.
Yeah. Ooh, I mean, honestly, odds are good SNL's staying, but like we're
Yes.
still refreshing every day to see if Lorne Michaels has made his decision.
Well, he's got, I guess, other things to do. He's got to do a quick flight across the pond
That's right. Oh my God, I
for
don't
his
even have that
new
on the rundown.
project.
Exactly. How do you figure he's gonna? I mean, he's executive producing that in name only. Like,
Yeah.
They bought the name from him, so his name has to
Yes.
be on it. But yeah, that's going to be really interesting to watch take shape, and like kind of amazing that it hasn't happened already.
Right, because there were other international versions way back,
Right?
but I guess I'm surprised that they never did one.
Yeah. And a lot of the international versions sometimes would just restage
Yeah.
like sketches from the US version. So, that wouldn't go over as big now that like
No.
digital, you
Yeah.
can watch any SNL sketch anywhere. So it'll be interesting to see a country like try it all on
Yeah.
their own in this format. Obviously, sketch shows have existed forever, but like
Right.
to call it Saturday Night Live is going to be really interesting.
Yeah.
Will they stream it on Peacock? I don't know. We have like a year to figure it out.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while. I guess I'm most interested to see what are we doing host and musical guest wise? Is it gonna exclusively be British people hosting?
That's a good point. I don't know.
Because we get British people all the time hosting our show. Do we get to go host theirs?
Yeah. That's asking the real questions, because that kind of puts you in a bit of a box, I would say. Because like SNL will bring anybody from anywhere, but if you say like, no, we only need people from the UK, then I don't know. It's interesting. It's very interesting.
We'll see, I guess.
We'll
Time
see.
will tell.
Because like Graham Norton's a big thing over here
Yeah.
and there, and Graham Norton has a big mix. So maybe, I mean, you're looking at the possibility of just there's just 2 opportunities to host SNL every week now.
Yeah.
Maybe. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It's gonna be really interesting. But if I can at all watch that as well, then I'm gonna. I'm gonna find a way. Awesome. Anything else? Anything I've missed from just SNL developments?
Not that I can think of.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's the Morgan Wallen issue has been discussed at length.
I was right. I do.
Yeah.
I was vindicated in my opinion. After we recorded our last episode, I was like, was I too harsh? No, apparently.
No, clearly not.
I was not.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. I just, and we talked about the fact that, yes, he's not out of the culture. Like he's still on the, on the Billboard charts and everything, but does having a hand in obstructing the show, is that more cause for, we don't really want to work with you again?
I don't see them bringing him back again.
I don't know, because like I don't see it either. Because if you just take the Good Nights thing, he didn't really ruin anything. He just kind of like
No.
made an ass move. But if the behind the scenes stories surrounding the Big Dumb Line digital short, not digital short, but just song, music video are true, that to me is more egregious and more of a reason that he wouldn't be asked back.
That's actively making things more difficult for the people that work there.
Exactly.
In a way that leaving in good nights, it doesn't hurt anyone really. It's just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But yeah.
And everybody
dropping
made
out of
everybody made pretty much exactly the face you just made, which is just like, okay.
Right.
And first of all, I need to shout out Liz Patrick again. There was some masterful cutting in the Good Nights portion. You would see somebody, like, just the second you would see somebody notice that Morgan Wallen was no longer on stage and then turn around to say something probably really incriminating about him, camera cut. Like, that happened with that happened specifically, the two I can think of with Ego and Keenan.
Mm-hmm.
And then it also happened where Sarah Sherman and Heidi Gardner were whispering in each other's ear. And then the second they pulled away, the camera cut somewhere else. I mean, like, they protected everyone perfectly.
Liz Patrick said, those TikTok lip readers, they're not going to get us.
You're not getting my cast today. Just expert level stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that officially covers, like, the past stuff or the recent past.
I think so.
So now we can move on to the big news, the reason we're all here today, and that is we got an announcement, an important one. This decision to bring Quinta Brunson back is officially Corkboard Chronicle approved.
Yes.
I think we even mentioned that she was in our, like, you know, our hopes and dreams for this upcoming, or for, like, the rest of the season. Incredible episode in 2023.
Just rewatched it yesterday.
Oh, good. I need to do that too. Yeah. Evidenced by the fact that, like, a lot of those sketches that came from the Quinta Brunson episode have recurred. The two right off the top of my head are the midwife sketch that I mentioned earlier, and the yelling in the parking lot.
Yes.
That came from this episode originally, and then, like, Martin Short most recently. It's only her second time, but she is going to quickly become a 5-timer. I hope,
think so.
If there's any justice in the world. Why they didn't have her back in season 49, I don't know, but whatever. She's back now.
Strike probably got in the way.
Yeah, it probably did.
Because once the strike was over, I'm sure she went back to working on her show, and it just kind of... I did, in that episode, in her first episode, was the iconic Weekend Update April Fool's
That's
joke.
Right! That's right! That did come from her episode. Oh my god.
Imagine how pleasantly surprised I was when I got to that part. And the very first joke Colin tells, I was like, they're not laughing. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember.
You even got 2 years later, you got. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, man. What an episode. And so I'm thrilled. Not to not to put too much pressure on the situation, but, like, she knows what she's doing. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be great.
Yes.
Her second time hosting, and as you mentioned, this is in May. I was gonna say her second time in April, but we're in April. She's gonna be in May.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, our late season hero, Quinta Brunson, coming back. And then so musical guest Benson Boone.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be great. I mean, he's a great live performer.
Yes.
His first time on the show, obviously. Count on a Flip.
Yep.
Count on Beautiful Things.
Yep.
Count on That Hot Slippery Bob. And count on a curly hair icon. I mean, yeah. It's going to be in full flow on Saturday, May 3rd. Has to be.
Yeah.
And if the wardrobe of recent, like, live appearances means anything, you probably count on, like, a wicked bulge. I don't know why he keeps, like, it's just it's hanging, you know,
Yeah,
and I'm like,
I
okay,
don't know who's dressing him and why they're making those choices.
yeah. I mean, I know why they're making those choices. So, you know,
Well, the
yeah,
question is, will the censors allow it on TV?
yeah, true. Screenshot, zoom, that's why. But legitimately, that's going to be a good show, I think.
Yeah,
And so, yeah, Quinta Brunson, Benson Boone, Quinta Brunson, Benson Boone, Quinta Brunson, Benson Boone. That's
my
just fun to
theory,
say.
it is. I
Yeah,
think that's probably why they paired them.
probably. Yeah, yeah. Honestly,
My theory is Marcelo did a Benson Boone impression in the Mikey Madison episode,
you're right. Very quick
in
one.
that court sketch where they were just kind of cycling through
Hmm.
a lot. And I'm thinking that was the Booker, that was kind of a testing the waters on like, how does
Right.
our audience, is he recognizable enough?
Yeah.
Popular enough? Well, did they get it? And if they get it, maybe it's to prove it to Lorne. See, people do
See?
like him.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's
They
available.
get
He's
it.
around. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the name thing, Quinta Brunson, Benson Boone, reminds me of, I don't know if you remember that. This is a deep, deep cut. I'm so sorry. I can't believe I remember this. When Andy Samberg hosted Saturday Night Live, the only episode he's hosted with musical guest St. Vincent,
Okay.
they did a promo where how promos go, host, musical guest, and one cast member. It was Andy Samberg, A.D. Bryant, and St. Vincent. And it was so stupid. I can't even believe I'm saying this out loud. It was Andy and 80 were like, he would go, "Hi, I'm Andy Samberg. I'm hosting SNL this week with musical guest St. Vincent." And 80 was like, "Oh my gosh, our names are so similar. Isn't that fun?" And they go, and he's like, "Yeah, that's great. Andy and 80, Andy and 80, Andy and 80." And so they just say it, and then Andy turns around and goes, "Sorry, St. Vincent." And she goes, "Actually, my name is Annie." They go, "Andy, Annie and 80, Andy." So stupid.
I love it.
Stupid. But that's the energy I hope to see in the promos.
Yeah, I think so.
Quinta Brunson, Benson Boone.
Just like that.
Just like that. We'll see.
Yeah.
Quinta Brunson, Benson, and Bowen. Brunson, Benson, and Bowen.
Oh, what we should have been doing this whole time, we should have been making predictions for which cast member would be in these promos.
Would be in the promos. Yeah. I don't know. I could. Wow. That's good.
Yeah.
I could see Keenan doing this one. I don't know if Keenan's been in them lately, but
I would say I could see Keenan just because I think that like that would make sense for Quinta because she's like such a big fan of his.
yeah, I could see. I like Heidi's done quite a few lately.
Mm-hmm.
I could see.
Sarah Sherman's been in a lot of them lately, I think.
Yeah, she has.
Maybe not. Maybe they give her a break.
Or they use her because of like there's a whole outfit deal with Benson Boone and with Sarah Sherman.
That's true. Maybe they put Marcelo in it in the jumpsuit.
In the jumpsuit. See, we got there's things
I have
coming.
Pitches.
Folks. Yeah, we're cooking on the Thursday promos. That's just gonna be a lot of fun, and that is the only thing they've announced. So we're just here to do a brief little check-in. Anything else SNL related, Caroline, before we move on?
I do not think so.
Me either. We nailed it in 30
simple.
minutes flat, and 15 of those were talking about the national championship. So without further ado, we're gonna move on to everybody's favorite segment. I walk out on the street and I just hear people talking on the sidewalk. Did you catch in other media this week? And it's crazy. People are clamoring for this. I'm gonna go first, I think, if you don't mind. Actually, I don't remember who I put first, so let's all find out together. It's you. Go ahead.
It was me. Would you like to go first?
No, I'm good.
Okay. This is the best show on TV. And I always forget that it is until it comes back on, and then I'm like, oh, that's right. It's the best show on TV.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah.
But I don't really have much to say besides like it is the funniest thing I've ever seen, and the phrases that people are saying are just like unreal. Like the lines that these people are saying, you're just like, what? And it's just incredible. And they get amazing guest stars. It's funny. Everybody in the cast is amazing. I just love it a lot. I don't know you should even explain what it's about.
I mean, for those uninitiated, please do.
It is about a family of they're they're televangelists, basically big mega church, Joel Osteen, Oral Roberts types.
Right.
And I want to say it's in South Carolina. It's kind of generic South.
Right.
But it's just about this family, mostly about the three like adult children and how insane they are because of this life they've led, and they're getting into different, they're getting involved in criminal activities, and just like every season you kind of meet a new group of people from their past that pop up and cause trouble, and it's just a good time. I don't have much more to say than that. I just highly, highly, highly recommend it.
I've heard a lot of good things about this season in particular, and I remember watching the first episode. I've only seen the pilot, and it was maybe back when it came out. I want to say
this is the fourth season. This is the fourth and final.
Okay, so it is ending.
Yeah, they are ending it. Danny McBride loves to do like 3 to 4 seasons of a show and then call it good.
Right. Okay, so this is what happened, was that it was August 18th, 2019. I had moved to New York. I'd been in New York for a day at this point, and I was so depressed and so scared that I didn't want to do anything except lay down and go to bed. And so I watched this first episode and was like, and I did like it.
Yeah.
But there was just something about it that I couldn't fully enjoy at the time. So I do need to revisit it. 100%.
I would, if you are missing Walton Goggins on The White Lotus, this gives you Walton Goggins, but on a whole other level.
I forgot that he was in this. Yeah.
Just an unbelievable character. And there were like 3 weeks where White Lotus rolled right into Gemstones. And so you were getting 2 super different Goggins.
Yeah. Wow. Back to back.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, I absolutely need to give this another shot. The other issue with it, I think, now that I'm reading about this, I'm not crazy about Adam Devine.
See, and I think in this, his whole thing works.
Okay.
They make it work in this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. There's nothing personal to Adam Devine.
I get it.
I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is.
Is it the observation that Matt Rogers made on Las Culturistas way, way back in the day, that he's basically just doing Jack Black?
Maybe. That could be it. Or I just like it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I've seen him in that I've just been like, no.
Yeah. No, we're not a Workaholics fan.
Not a Workaholics fan. Never got into that. Yeah, I don't know. But, I'm remembering that John Goodman is in this, and
he's incredible in this show.
That's who I need in my life right now. Maybe that's a really good, I don't even know if he's in like super great health at the moment. I don't know if he would host this season. I think it'd be iconic, but I don't know if he would do it. I would hope that if he gets an Emmy out of this last season of The Righteous Gemstones, that maybe he hosts in season 51.
That would be fun.
That would be really fun, because he just needs to do it again. He needs to come back for a 14th.
Yeah, I would love it. I would love him.
Yeah. This, I got to get into this, 100%.
Big recommend. Yeah, I'm telling everyone. And if it wasn't this, it would have been The Pit.
Mm-hmm.
This is a more fun show to talk about. But secondary recommendation, The Pit was very good.
We have more episodes to cover, where there will be another announcement probably on Saturday, May 3rd.
Yeah,
so just stay tuned. So, all right. Anything else about the Righteous Gemstones?
No, just a million thumbs up.
Boom.
Do yourself a favor, watch it.
Gotcha. Good to know. So which one aired first? Like, while White Lotus was going, was it Gemstones?
White Lotus was first.
And then Gemstones?
Then Gemstones was after.
Gotcha. We're going to reverse the air order today.
Oh.
Because I'm talking about the White Lotus. It's really the only thing I have seen. I really had to sit with this and go like, what else have I been doing other than like putting together a wedding and watching a lot of basketball?
Yeah.
Maybe I should have the March Madness logo up here because, watched a lot of basketball. I'm like Max having 3 of the 4 networks that were carrying basketball during the tournament.
Yeah.
Perfect. It was so good. I could watch one, I could leave it, I could go to another one, and I wouldn't have to leave the app. It was like it was as good as Peacock did the Olympics. Like it was perfect. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about the White Lotus. I would trust that you all know what's going on with the White Lotus. You watched the White Lotus, I take it, this past season. You've seen all of them at this point?
Yes, I have.
I really enjoyed this season.
Yeah.
But there's been a lot of like, I don't know, like it's not hate, it's just like frustration, I guess, with how the season turned out. Do you hold any of that?
I saw a lot of it, but I think it's a lot of hindsight. I think people are remembering the first 2 seasons as being more condensed than they actually were.
I completely agree.
I think if you were to go back and watch those week to week, not much is happening plot-wise.
Yeah.
That's just what the show is.
And like, everybody was one of the big criticisms I saw was like they never resolved the family, the Ratliffs. Like we didn't see the Ratliffs like recover from this thing, and I'm like, that isn't the show. Point me to another place. Point me to another like season where we see them at home in the living room talking about their stay at the White Lotus. It just doesn't happen.
It ends when they leave the resort.
Yes, because that's all we're covering is their vacation.
Right.
The whole message of the show is like you have these people who come in and their stories envelop you for a couple of days and you never see them again. That's the whole like pitch of the show. And so I understand liking a character and wanting to know more about them and maybe even like caring to see a spin-off about them, but like that's not what you've ever gotten here.
No.
And then like the whole ending with people were talking about the Guy Talk and Mook storylines being irrelevant. I don't think they were irrelevant at all.
No.
I think his like wanting to impress Mook informed a lot of the choices he made, and ultimately the choice to kill Walton Goggins that was directly because of their kind of back and forth storyline. Yeah, it wasn't a distraction, it wasn't a diversion, it was like that informed something. That was there for a reason. No, we didn't get the big kiss at the end, but you know what? Sometimes you don't. And then what else was there? There was the only thing I really did take issue with was Lachlan resurrecting.
Yeah, that I could have done without.
I think that was an incredible cost to the dad's irresponsibility of like what he tried to do, his cowardice with facing his crimes, his cowardice with facing his family, his cowardice even as he's smacking the pina coladas out of everyone's hands. All of that cowardice, if I can say the word a 4th time, cost him the only member of his family that he was actually proud of.
Right. The only one that he felt
creating.
The only one he felt could survive without everything they had.
To me, it was a perfect consequence for that character.
Yeah, it would have been, yeah.
Did I find that to be very heartbreaking? Yeah. Like, I wouldn't have wanted to see Lachlan die, but as a storytelling device, as a one final like turn of the knife of this guy's not able to get away with it anymore in terms of Jason Isaacs' character, I thought it was a perfect ending.
I think so.
They just backed right off of it. and then a lot of people were upset with the turn of the daughter, Piper.
Yeah, I
Piper's
loved that.
character all of a sudden not being interested in Buddhism anymore. It's like, have you never met a 19, 20-year-old, college student trying to find themselves? They will.
I thought that was a perfect
Yeah.
way to
Yeah.
like kind of end her storyline.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Everybody was like, she just abandons everything she's believed in?
That's the point.
She probably started believing it 4 months ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we're not talking about this lifelong devotion to Buddhism here. She read a book. Like, that's that experience. So mine isn't necessarily a recommendation of The White Lotus. It's just a finger wag for everybody who's been like, this season was terrible. No, I'm sorry. It was exactly the same. It delivered exactly as it should have. There were a few pieces that maybe needed a little tweaking. I think Mike White may need a writer's room for next season. But ultimately, it was not this travesty that people are like making it out to be. That's just me.
I do truly think, like, people say, oh, well, so much more happened in, the second season. I'm like, well, you remembering the 5 major plot points.
Yeah.
But like in any given episode, aside from the finale, I don't think that a ton of stuff was going on. It was a lot of just like conversations between people and just kind of interpersonal dynamics developing.
Yeah, exactly. Which I liked. I liked this season.
That's the point of the show, yeah.
Yep, 100%. And that's The White Lotus. It's about a hotel.
HBO corner over here.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, usually we're the Apple TV corner.
That's true, I know.
We've turned over a new leaf here. I forgot to put a title card at the end of my slideshow, so I have to go back. So that's it. That's all we got for you this time. Caroline, any parting words before we go on the Corkboard Chronicle?
I don't think so. I'm looking forward to May 3rd.
See, as soon as I asked you that question, a lamp turned on behind you. So it made it look like you had an idea.
Yeah.
I was ready for like some hot knowledge to be dropped.
Would not be good planning though. That's on a timer for the sunset.
I see. Okay.
So.
Well, then it's time for us to go because it's officially night. Okay. Well, had a blast.
Yeah.
Caroline, thanks for coming. And let's do it again on the next one. Shall we?
Yes.
Bye.